Today's my graduation, I've done my dissertation, even got a hat, I am proud. Today's my graduation, so on to education, didn't learn a thing anyway.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Pro Crastinators podcast. I am the best guy ever, and I'm here with these guys to talk about stuff again. Here is Ben Saint.
Hello, everybody.
And here is the Hypocrite.
Hello, everybody.
What?
And here is the Mumkey Man.
Hello, everybody.
What? You all owe me $1.
That's a copyrighted phrase. That's the meme that made Ben Saint the man he is today on the internet.
Yeah, that's the meme.
So today's topic is exclusion.
That's
is
not
exclusion.
the topic.
Well,
Yeah.
that's the real topic.
Yeah.
But there's bits of news. There's some exciting news, people. Which is kind of why I want to do this today. And it is that both me and Mr. Mumkey Jones have both finished our college experiences. We have gotten our degrees. Mine's coming on like Monday or something. But we're done. We have just finished our secondary education. Round of applause, please.
My graduation was actually earlier today, this morning.
Oh, really? Oh,
Well,
that's
hot
It
amazing.
was a shit show.
I'm going full Kanye West and not going to my graduation and having nothing
I
to
wish
do
I had that
with any of
option.
it.
My parents made me go.
You know, I'm sure if I was like a reasonable human being like you, I'm sure, and had like completed it within the
Yeah, Mumkey
within the
Jones is a
appropriate time frame
reasonable
and done
human
it.
being.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Well,
graduated.
He just said he wouldn't go unless except that he has to for obligations.
That's right. I've risen. I'm beyond obligations related to school at this point. I've transcended. But nonetheless, so the reason why Ben and Gibbon here are because they too have gotten their secondary education degrees.
Yes.
And
Right.
we tried to get in everybody who had finished college. So that'd be I believe Tom and Jeff.
Where is Tom, by the way?
Tom is busy and didn't
Me
want
him
to
were
get his mic.
Me and him were just having a real shitty Twitter argument that went on forever and was a complete nightmare for everyone.
Tom has time to tweet endlessly at work, but he doesn't want to like go get his microphone because it's at home or something. Because
What's
he
the
records those at
argument,
work
Ben?
or something.
It was about
Oh boy.
art
Oh boy.
and whether it's the artist's it got out of my control really fast, but it was intended to be. The point was that a work of art, if it has to be explained to get its message across, then that's a failure. And I
Which
think that
position
I
do
think
you
that
take on that?
and I think
It's the whole the Joker says if I have to explain the joke,
yeah,
there is no joke.
And I think that how I think it's the artist's responsibility to convey with their work, and that you can't blame the audience if they don't get it.
yeah,
that's
and
what I think.
the thing that everybody's getting confused about in that argument is that failure is not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah, everyone thinks that what I'm saying is, if you, the artist, don't make your work 100% accessible to 100% of the audience, if you don't dumb down your work, then you're a failure as an artist, which is just not what I was saying.
I mean,
But
okay,
we
it
don't
sounds
need
like
to talk
this.
about this at length.
Right,
Sorry.
there's some nuance there. I'm not sure where I'd land without thinking about it some more.
Okay,
But
okay.
this is not Ben's Twitter drama podcast.
I'm just saying-
This is the Procrastinators podcast. And we're trying to talk about how we ruined our lives through various things, and how
Yeah.
we're rising from the ashes like a beautiful phoenix now.
We were talking about
let's
graduation.
that's right.
I've
graduation.
I don't know whether Ben has been to like a ceremony with a hat
Yeah.
and stuff.
Ben has. I was there. I was at Ben's.
Yeah, I did. I
I
had
went to
a
one
very
as well.
traditional college experience.
Nate,
Yeah.
please tell me you have pictures of Ben in the full wardrobe.
Oh, I'm sure we
They're
do
around.
somewhere.
They're
Please
Yeah, I'm
post
sure they're
them.
around. I'll have to talk to my parents and.
Hell yeah.
No. Well, I mean, actually, no. What? I don't care. Share, whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Show me in my goddamn mortarboard.
The one
Is that
thing
what
Ben,
it's
I bet you're
called?
sexy as hell wearing that hat.
Yeah, the motorboard. Yeah, that's what.
motorboat.
Motorboard.
Motorboat.
The one thing I liked about the ceremony is that, I mean, it was boring and whatever. I didn't care.
Yeah.
And that it was expensive because you had to rent the things to wear. But while I walked across the stage, I was confident and I tipped my hat to the audience, and people said, "Oh,"
Oh,
and it was
lady.
all cool, and
Could you fit
cool
a
guy.
hat on your hair, Hippo?
The
Was it
hat
all just
looked
sticking out the
absolutely
sides?
terrible with my hair.
I'm sure.
Was it kind of floating like a foot above where it's
No,
supposed
I bet
to
he
be?
just squished down the top, and it was all.
Well, now I
squished
want a
down the
picture of that
sides.
even more.
Hilarious.
Well, yeah, I have picture. I mean, I got. You had to pay for like a professional photographer to take the picture with you standing in front of a pretend bookcase, holding a pretend thing, and it was
Fuck you
really
coming and
fake,
going.
and I really didn't like it, and it was really expensive.
but-
But my parents paid for it, so I don't give a shit. But
When
the
you get
photo
older-
itself is absolutely awful. I look dumb.
I want to see that.
Nate, can I pitch an idea to you right now?
Sure.
I want a picture of Hippo and his graduation shit, and a picture
Yeah.
of Ben, and I want the audience to vote for who looks more dapper.
That sounds good. That sounds
Yeah.
good.
It'll be
It
Ben.
might be tough to get
I
those, but
don't-
I
We'll
look.
get 'em.
My crazy hair just does not work with a classical school aesthetic.
That's what
Do you
makes you
look like-
dapper.
it makes you a distinguished gentleman. When you get older, you're probably going to look just like Claudio from Coheed and Cambria. You know, with the biggest hair in the game. You know what I'm talking about? That guy. That guy's
yeah, I think
he's
so,
the
yeah.
coolest.
I always think you look like Danny from Game Grumps.
Yeah, maybe that. Only
Funnier.
more small.
Small.
SMOL, as Mage would say.
Small.
So okay, who's got feelings about having graduated? I'd like to put out how there's. I mean, in my case, it might be a little different because I found my job and did all my shit like before I finished my degree, and so now that I have it, my only goal in life is to leave that job because it was kind of backwards for me. I got my job and like I part of that was saying that I'd get the degree because you're like worth more to your company once you have your degree. And like it was also like something I'd promised my parents, and it's sort of like an insurance policy or whatever. But my goal is only to leave, to no longer be doing these things, and to do this shit. I assume that's not the case for you guys and most other
I
people.
did get a bunch of jobs directly related to my degree after I for
Should
like
we
a
all say
couple
what
ye-
degrees we got?
Oh, good idea.
Yeah,
Let's
that's
do
good.
those real quick. Let's run down.
well-
Monkey, you go first.
Oh, I wish I didn't introduce it because I'm ashamed. But
What is it?
originally I wanted to be an English teacher, either high school or middle school. So I was going English major with a minor in education. And then when I was signing up for student teaching, I realized that it was terrifying and I hated it. So now I am graduating with just an English degree and nothing else. So it's terrible.
Lel.
A bachelor's?
It's a nightmare. Yeah, it's a bachelor's.
Wait, what were you originally going for?
I was going to be a
Teacher.
teacher.
Oh, so you were going to get like a teaching certification or something?
Yeah.
My buddy John it was also an English major, and he's done some like copywriting work, but it's
hey.
basically worthless. He's really just thinking about going back now to get like a computer science degree
Oh,
or something.
fuck
so.
that. I'm not going
Yeah,
back for shit.
My buddy Scotty was he finished his degree as a what was it? Music, like a music guy. He just did like a music major at TCNJ where we went, and then he just he was like half a semester away from finishing that degree and just decided this was a waste of time. I'm just going back, taking all the computer science classes like my buddy Nate did and everybody else, and just did it and just didn't even finish the first one. But it was smart. I mean, he did save money by doing it that way, but poor guy. Anyway, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. So let's go, Gib. Could you tell us what your degree was?
I got a degree in animation. I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's just what it was called. It was just animation. I did 3 films over 3 years, and yeah, I don't know.
Can we
Cool.
watch
Is it-
these films anywhere?
Yes, you can go to Give
couple
and
of 'em.
Take, youtube.com/Give and Take, and they're on the front page.
Right.
Oh,
So
hell
They're
yeah.
great.
Those
They're
were
all
done,
great, by the way.
Those were done for your schooling or whatever. I forget.
Yeah.
I forget sometimes.
Spiders are people too. The Tallest Man, and what's the other one?
The Fish at the Door.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I
How
love
could
Fish
forget?
at the Door.
I love them all.
Yeah.
I'm going to
think
go
Spiders
comment
is
on
my
them right
favorite.
now, so then everybody will go there from this podcast and give me a bunch of upvotes on my comment.
Good idea. that's the currency that really matters these
Hell
days.
yeah, fucking upvotes.
Ben, could you tell us your degree, please?
Yes, sir. I got a Bachelor of Arts with a major in physics and a minor in philosophy.
Oh, I thought you double majored.
I did not. Wait. Oh, shit, you're right. I did double major.
Yeah, I knew it.
Fuck.
I knew it.
4 years of your life and you forgot.
Dude, the philosophy major is like the most requirements light It had like
really?
half the credits requirements of the physics part. So
Most of it is
So
just answering the question, what is a philosophy major?
I took like one or two classes in it each semester, so it felt like a minor because I was doing so much less work for it.
That's all right. That's cool.
Yeah.
But you finished in 4 years and you were done, right? That was you were on track.
Yep, I had a very traditional. Got in, spent 4 years, and got out when I was supposed to.
And Mumkey, did you also just do it in 4 years?
I did it in 3.5 years.
What?
Okay, so you
Well,
all right?
because I was supposed to spend my last semester student teaching, but I dropped that, so I had enough credits to
Here's the
graduate
thing
early.
I've never understood. What the fuck is a semester?
Yeah.
It's
It's half a year.
Okay, it's real
Yeah.
simple. Every school year, I mean, summers are, exempt, and there's like a short winter break. But there's 2 semesters a year from around September to around the start of December, and then I believe sometime in January, like the end of January, until May. And those are just 2 semesters, and within those you take usually around 4 classes. So you'll take like 8 a year, and you do that for 4 years, basically, and you get your degree, for the most part.
See, it feels kind of weird. I mean, the semester is like just a term that, you use. But the idea that you take multiple classes or you get majors and minor things.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know whether that's a thing over here. Maybe it is.
It's because you went to like a technical school, basically, right? Where you did like one thing.
It was a creative school, and
Yeah.
I just did animation, and that's it. There was no
Well,
majors,
see, that
minors.
sounds... I mean... I
Was
was
it
talking
2
about
years?
my experience.
In like a
Hippo?
typical liberal arts degree program. I know
Yeah.
it's just different in different countries, but I think that like the way it works in America, at least in my experience, is that you go to college and you only declare a major like later. Sometimes you can declare right away, but you don't have to. You can spend time not knowing
Right.
what your degree is for, and then like after a year or two, you decide what
Oh,
you're
and
going
what
to
a
be
joy that
majoring
is.
in. Yeah.
So
and
all right,
then-
let me tell you my degree real
and
quick.
then that's what your degree is in.
Yeah. Well, did you have another question about that, Gib?
Well, I don't know. It just seems weird because, like, the only reason you'd go to university is to do a specific thing. It feels like.
Oh no, Gib!
You
No. You don't
go
know
to
how
college
America
just
works
to do it.
now.
You
'Cause,
go to
like-
college just to go to college.
Yeah, that's
that's right.
really ass backwards, as you would say.
It
Oh,
is
it's
a bit
backwards, all right.
backwards, I would say.
Okay, well let me just tell you mine. So I have I'll be getting a bachelor's of science with a major in computer science and minors in interactive multimedia and of course Japanese. So that's
Oh yeah.
that's right.
Do you speak
That's right.
any Japanese?
Yeah. I
That
speak.
sounded
Okay,
like English to me.
Yeah. Why don't
what
you
is
say
it?
something, bestie boy?
It's
People
like
would know English.
He's the only one.
Hita ni Nihongo de hanasemasu. I can speak bad Japanese, so I kind of get it.
All
So
right,
Nate
fair
went
enough.
into the STEM field, and the 3 of us wasted our degrees.
I
That's-
went into
that's
the
true,
STEM
that's
field.
true.
I was fucking physics major. You ding.
Oh, I just heard the
Oh yeah,
philosophy
that's right.
part.
That's right. It's
Yeah.
it's easy to forget because Ben has no redeeming qualities. but
That's true. That's true.
I majored in physics, and then I went and I immediately after college I went and I was a counselor at Astro Camp, which required a science degree, and then I was like a lab technician at a company that made fucking mirror coatings, and I ran tests on samples and shit for like 6 months.
yeah.
Yes, indeed.
If we're talking,
Did
By the
your-
way,
if
go
we're
on,
talking
Gib,
about
go on.
stuff that I got after, like job-wise,
Mm-hmm.
there was, due to my animations on my channel, somebody came up to me and said, "These are funny. I would like you to write a few scripts for animations that we're working on." And I've done those, and I've been paid for them, but I don't really know. Like, I haven't got any animation work, and it's sort of that was just a sort of one-time thing.
Did those scripts ever become animations?
They pitched them to the things, like they're trying to get pitches together so that they can
Oh.
get to a studio, say.
Yeah, I
don't
was
know.
wondering what was going
The-
on.
Yeah, that's
The
I
latest-
haven't heard.
That's
I haven't
legit.
heard about it in a while.
The latest one is Nick Jr. And
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's a thing that they're pitching, and it's my
God, that would be
scripts.
pretty. That would be pretty fucking neat if the show got picked up and you got writing
Yeah.
credits, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it was funny when you were talking about that. Like, I remember, I think me and Digi were like, "Dude, this is the coolest. You have to like do this shit. This is the coolest thing. This could be like legit professional animation cartoons
it
that you
would.
did."
It would, but it's kind of a long
there's-
shot. whether a
it
pitch
yeah,
gets
well,
picked
is
up for a show.
quite a long shot. I felt like everyone blew it out of proportion and was saying, "Oh, look, you got a real job now. You're a real boy." And I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, not yet.
Well, but it's just like okay. Let's say that like you did that as your job, like you just prepared these scripts for like pitches for things. Like one of those would probably eventually become a show, and then like it's just like
what do you
whatever one
mean?
that happens to be, that would be the one that was like the big breakout success,
What do
even
you-
if they were all like equally good.
What
or
do you
whatever,
mean one
know?
of them would eventually become a show?
Well, I mean, if you're a guy writing pitches for shows, you would think
if
that
you're writing
at some
for
point,
like a dozen different shows, but
well, yeah. I mean, isn't
right,
that?
but that's not what we're talking about. A particular company came and was like, write us a few scripts, and we will pitch them with our show or something.
Yeah, they had
Well, sure,
they had
but-
ideas for
yeah.
shows, and they just brought me on to help write because they saw that I could do comedy. And
Yeah.
they
Well,
needed
The
all
coolest
I'm
thing
saying-
about it is that if
Yeah.
Hippo did get a show on Nick Jr., then maybe Digi would do an 18-episode series dissecting it.
Yes.
Hypocrite Show Sucks
God, I
Part
would-
1.
God, I would be so
It's
stoked.
gay.
I would be so
We gotta
fucking
check out this
stoked
new
if that
children's
happened.
show. It looks pretty deep.
Yeah, children's shows are deep, dude. Well,
Well, that's a good question, Hippo. Did they pitch it to the hub?
yeah. The hub is dead, Ben. The hub is dead.
Is
it's,
it? Okay.
It's something else
Did they
now.
pitch
It's like
them to
Disney.
Disney XD?
No.
Disney XD.
I'm trying to think. There was other ones. When I think there was a bunch of things that they were pitching to that rejected them. Like
Can I say the
last
name of
year.
the company? Is that cool?
I don't think.
Well, I'm asking Hippo.
Pornhub.
Well, I can't remember the name of the company. It was.
Well, the one that I remember. Can I say it? Is that okay?
Yeah, sure.
Wasn't it like Dragon Bee or something? Like
That-
Bee
that's,
Dragon?
That's the name of the animation studio that hired me for that. And
Yeah,
they were
okay.
trying to
Oh,
pitch
okay.
it to big studios that would help fund and produce it and
Right,
publish
right.
it and all that. But they're just
Alright,
a
fair
small-ish studio that are making
But-
stuff.
You did not get that as a result of education. You got that because your work was out there on YouTube and these people
Yep.
liked your stuff.
I mean, that is true, but I wouldn't have made those animations had I not gone to university.
Yeah,
I
that's
do
fair.
I do
Yeah,
I
yeah.
like the time I spent there. I learned a lot of things, which
Yeah.
has helped my YouTube as well as just animating and.
Can I?
that
Can I
reminds
tell a
me
little
that-
of my story?
Wait, I just want to say that
Okay,
in
okay.
addition to those real jobs that I had, sort of real jobs, I've also
Yeah.
done a lot of work tutoring physics, mostly
Right,
online, which is a field that there's always demand for. So yeah, and I may continue to do that at some point in the future. Hopefully not. Hopefully I'll never need to do it again. But
When was the last time that you were doing that?
I haven't done it in quite a while. Although
Yeah, right.
maybe a couple months ago, I was popping in here and there and like just doing like one or two lessons. Just I don't know, make a couple bucks when I.
Ben,
was
do you
bored.
feel like your study of philosophy has helped you a lot with your comics?
with my comics?
Yeah, like
No.
trying to, having a deep thing to say with them and all that. I'm being serious.
I think this is gonna sound so pretentious, but
Well, it's coming from Ben, so.
Yeah, so of
Yeah.
course. I think that studying philosophy helped me understand just shit in general better, and I think it informs my worldview a bunch in a lot of ways. And so I don't think, well, I wouldn't say that it's had a direct influence on any of my work. It did make me a different person, and that has influenced things.
That doesn't sound that pretentious. That seems pretty reasonable.
I feel
Well,
like
I hope so.
philosophy is one of those subjects where people can go through it and they can get a passing grade, but there will be some people who understand what they, will take on what the whole thing has taught them and use
Yeah.
it in their normal life, and then there'll be other people who will just
I
they
think
will
you
pass, but they will not understand what the hell they just did.
I think you could come away from like a formal philosophy education with like wildly different understandings of what it is you just learned.
Yeah.
Like
Probably true.
I think it is.
It's probably
I
a
think it
good
is
thing,
true.
though, right? You wouldn't want everybody... Like, the whole point of philosophy is
maybe.
to think for yourself, right? You don't want everybody thinking the same
It is
way.
true, but
I guess
don't
that's a
like
good
pretentious
point.
people, and there's a lot of philosophy people that seem really pretentious, and I don't like them.
I mean,
But I know it's not everyone.
I got into it because of totally pretentious reasons. I just thought it seemed like a thing that smart people would know about, and I was like, I want to be a smart guy. So, yeah.
Well,
I
here,
think
let
philosophy
me.
is really cool, and I would have minored in it if I was thinking that far
It's-
ahead.
It's
I don't really know what would be involved in that kind of. I mean, I think about philosophical stuff
Yeah,
kind of a
that-
lot, I guess, but I don't.
It's one of the things, like, I hear about, like, degrees in philosophy, and I'm like, well, I can be philosophical, just thinking about stuff without
well, I mean-
having a
I mean,
degree.
that's
but
true.
You,
Well, that-
you could do
that's
that with
true.
any degree.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was just gonna say
yeah.
you can learn anything that they teach you in college. You can learn it elsewhere. But yeah,
Yeah, the intro class I took for philosophy was just reading, things by Plato, things about Socrates, that kind of stuff that you can just buy yourself and read.
yeah, totally.
Well,
I mean,
know.
higher
sorry,
the
go
higher
ahead.
level classes in that were stuff like they got into more like specific things like the philosophy of mind or the philosophy of language, and there would be a lot of readings from like contemporary philosophers on, and it was all like it's all discussion with no conclusion, really. I mean,
Right, right.
there are conclusions. Some people have come to their own conclusions, but like it's all debatable, Like you can form your own theories about these things if you want to. It's not like science where like, you learn
Yeah.
you learn what it is and then there it is. And maybe this is all obvious, I don't know.
Well, it certainly makes sense, but it does sound like there were things that were gained from your education here, and Gibbs seemed to be expressing the same sentiment. How about you, Mumkey? What do you feel like you gained from your experience at university?
Well, I learned a lot about what it takes to be a good author, and that's been a passion of mine since I was like 11, was
Okay.
to write things. So even though I didn't really
Did you do a lot of creative writing in your?
I did. My
okay.
senior project, I decided to do a creative project, and it ended up being like 55 pages.
Cool.
But what's cool about the senior project is that all of the professors in that area read it. So all of the English professors had to read it, and then I went into a defense where I had to defend my project and explain.
Damn, that's like some PhD shit. Like our dad had
Yeah,
to do
yeah,
that.
pretty
He
much.
fucking- yeah.
And they would ask me questions, and I'd have to defend my project, and I did very well, and I'm happy about it. And I'm
What-
hoping I can turn it into a full novel. So I guess
like-
that's what I'll get out of my degree.
Like, what was the project? Are you comfortable saying?
Yeah. Well, it's you guys know me. It's inspired
Suicide, I'm
by
guessing,
Elliot
depression.
Rodger, of course, because that's the only
Okay.
thing I ever talk about.
Nice.
But it was a portion of another work that I've like a novel that I've been working on.
Was it a 55-page suicide note? And they're like, "Wow, this is pretty well thought out. You really covered. You've really made it so that the people that
You
you've
really-
left behind are going to be okay with your suicide. That's
yeah,
good."
I thought you were gonna say like, oh, you've really painted a portrait of a madman here, and you're just like, yeah, that's right, painted
You know,
a
you-
portrait.
You guys are joking, but it's almost completely true. Everything that you're saying.
Yeah.
I believe it.
It was a manifesto of a school shooter.
A
But
fictional one though.
Well, sure. I mean,
Yeah.
But borrowing from
Right, okay.
borrowing
I-
from
Sure,
Elliot
I mean,
Rodger
right
and
now
stuff.
it's fiction, but I've got big plans, people. Big plans.
I'm just saying it was like a character piece, right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
But
I
yeah,
see.
I'm
I see.
hoping to publish it soon, even if I just have to publish it myself and let everybody check it out.
Okay,
I'll
but
I'll read it.
now question.
Sure.
How much did that cost? How much was your education? I mean, you don't have to tell me the exact number, but I'm just wondering. So, was it worth the investment? Do you feel?
Well, you guys might get mad at me, but I got the presidential scholarship at my college, so I had to pay almost nothing.
Oh shit.
And what do you have to do to get that?
It was based off of my high school GPA and other things I did in high school.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's a pretty good deal.
I mean, I can't be mad. I can just be pissed off.
Yeah, people get worked up over college debt, and I feel you, even though I don't have that much. Like, that's why I was voting for Bernie, eliminate
yeah.
that fucking college debt.
yeah.
That's Jill Stein. That's shit
Yeah.
too. Okay, well that's interesting. So you've got like almost no debt now. You're pretty much
I'm
good.
pretty much... My
I-
biggest debt is my fucking rent.
Oh yeah.
I wish I had picked a cheaper college. I don't know why. I had like, I don't know, the college that I picked to go to, I guess it fit my vision for what a college should
Yeah.
look like, and that's why I wanted to go to it, even though it was way more expensive. I could have gone to a state college and paid
Dude,
like a fraction of what I did.
Picking out a college is such a fucking trap for the kid doing it because it's always going to go the same way. You're going to see a college and you're going to say, "Wow, this looks nice," and then you're going to think of like your future there and like, "Oh, I'm going to spend 4 years," and then when it gets to the price and it's going to be huge and it's going to say, "Well, you know what? I can just take out fucking loans because this is where my future lies. This is like where my life's going to be. I'm going to build a future and I don't have to worry about that debt for like fucking 50 years when I die." So it's just, there's no way you can make like a thorough, well thought out decision about like what your money is going to get you when you're fucking 18. I mean, if we were fucking, like World War II era guys, like we just came back and we're trying to pick a college, at that point, like you're probably mature enough to make a good decision about this shit. But we're all, fucking rich white
fucking
kids,
sheltered
basically.
Millennial 18-year-olds.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And it's all
So we do
lies. When you go on a tour, it's all lies. They treat you like
Yeah.
you're going to be the most special snowflake at that school, and everything's going to be great. And then the first fucking day that you're a real student, it goes to shit, and they don't care.
those girls wouldn't even date me. They just date those fucking chads.
I thought it was
And
part
they're
of my fucking degree audit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though I'm so
Yeah.
beautiful and I'm such a distinguished gentleman, they just don't. They don't come.
Oh no.
Did you go to
guess-
Santa Barbara, dude? You go to UCSB?
Yeah, I don't want to talk about my specific history here. Let's.
I guess this is a
God.
good segue into like
Yeah.
what like the life of being a college boy is like
Yeah.
for everyone, because
It's a big
you're
change
talking
from high
about
school.
you, Mumkey. You mentioned it being worse than high school, almost, or maybe.
Yeah, he did.
On a
that
social level, I
is totally
hated
not my
college.
experience.
Yeah.
Well, 'cause we're
Well, it's
not all
interesting. Let's
fucking
talk about
sexy
it.
like you, Ben, getting laid every night. Fuck.
I mean, I can respect that. I have to give you that one.
There's a reason why midway through college I started making Mumkey anime reviews instead of going to parties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? My experience was that there were no parties because I didn't know the kind of people who had them and hung out in anime club instead. And,
That sounds way better.
college was a pretty lonely time for me. I had my good buddies, but I didn't this was like the first 3 years. My last year was a totally different experience than my first 3 years, which were hanging out with my buddies who are to this day some of my best friends. You talking about anime, playing video games, some of the happiest times of my life where we're just hanging out with those guys. But was not having the kind of life that I felt I expected to have. Like meeting lots of new people and doing those things. And a lot of it, I'm sure, was my fault. But and then the summer of after a third year, I went to Japan and
fuck.
and I just went completely insane and just became a hedonistic monster, doing things that would definitely get me arrested in America. And and then when I came back, I was a self-described fuck machine. I just wanted to do these things, and I achieved those goals. And I'm a little sad that I've lost some of that fire just because I've been focusing. I've diverted my sex passion from that stuff into making anime videos on the internet.
God,
But,
Nate, I'm empathizing so hard right now.
Yeah.
I'm really, I mean,
How so?
well, my college experience was I got there and I was lucky enough. I got a girlfriend like in the first month there, and then I was
Fuck
with
you.
I know.
Yeah,
I don't know how it
that's
happened.
lucky.
I had a girlfriend for like 3 years, and it was very nice and lovely. And then I ended that relationship my senior year. And my senior year was just this crazy time of just being just a complete slob, just not giving a fuck about anything.
That's when you
it was
became
just
the king
it
of
was just
fives,
a wild
right?
It was just a wild fucking orgy every day.
Yeah.
No, it's not true, but it is true. I fucked random girls all the time. It was
God damn it, turn him off.
It was beautiful. And now I'm like, now I'm like mad. Now it makes me mad because I'm
Yeah.
not in a position to live like that anymore.
Yeah.
And like I would. I don't know. I feel like I don't know. I don't have like a social. There's not that atmosphere in my life right now where like I can be out like mingling with people. That's all I want. I want to move to a city so that I can have a lifestyle where I'm going out and meeting people and socializing with people, so that I can be fucking doing things with my life. That's why I hate it here in Virginia Beach, because it's not. I don't know. I
understand.
Yeah. So I know it's kind of pathetic. I know it's kind of pathetic to look back, with fondness on your younger years and be like, those were the days. But yeah, senior year of college was probably the good old days for me, and I'd like to get back there sometime.
Same for me.
Well,
it was in the sense that I was, in terms of socializing, was definitely the peak of my whole life. But in other ways, obviously, it was worse. I didn't even make videos about anime. I mean, come on, what the fuck?
That's the killer.
Well,
how was it for you, Hippo?
My college uni experience was, my whole school experience has kind of been like a steady, very slow incline of getting better. Mostly because I just, over time, got better at talking to people. Like, I had one or two friends in primary school as a little boy. In secondary school, I had one or two friends early on, but as Facebook and mobile phones became a thing, I didn't really catch on to that, and I sort of drifted away because I wasn't keeping, contact with people. So by the end of secondary school, I had no friends. And then I was really depressed, and I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life.
Wait, what age is this we're talking about?
It's like 13?
This would be the end of high school age, so
Okay.
18, 17.
Yeah.
I took a year off because I was too scared of going to university because I thought it was just going to be the same bullshit school that doesn't actually teach you anything and whatever. But that was worse because my parents got mad at me for just not doing anything, not looking for work, and I didn't want to work. So I went to college for a year, and I met some arty people, and it was kind of cool, but it was, it was different because it was like people who just did art, and it was a foundation thing, and I was friends with a couple of those people, but they were sort of not really my people. They were normie-ish, and they were into different sort of things, but it was nice. I was making friends on my own, starting from scratch. So after that year, I went on to university, where I did for an animation degree. And since it was animation, there were a lot of people there who liked Eager Raptor, JonTron, Game Grumps, Total Biscuit, all the sort of internet things that I liked, and I gravitated towards those people. And those are like my best friends that I've ever had in a school setting. Really, like my best real life friends I've ever made, and I'm still talking to them because it was of a time where I was technology was like I was all up in that shit with Skype, so I could actually stay contacting with them, and it's just been it's just got better and better. So for me, college, university, that was the best time, and it's just continuing to be the best time. Even though it's finished, we're still talking, we're still playing games.
Are those the guys you play Minecraft with and World of Warcraft?
Yes and yes. And
Gay.
Gary's Mod.
I hate them.
Well, we don't play Minecraft because we're Minecrafters. We just occasionally...
I know
we
that
just
you're a
wanna do
12-year-old
stuff.
kid fucking logging onto mom's PC to go play Minecraft with your friends from school. You can't...
I probably would
fool
if
me.
I was a 12-year-old when Minecraft was big. I like
Probably,
that game.
yeah, me too.
But
I just never got Minecraft.
the idea that anything has gotten worse after I left is not true at all. I mean,
that's good.
during the school years, like it was like in that one year where I was doing nothing, where I started making pony videos, and from there I made the analysis videos, and then I met you guys, and then that's just gone. Like,
And it's all downhill from there.
Yeah,
It was all uphill. I like being a video guy and an animator and having lots of friends. It's all great. Everything's great.
Oh,
well, that's good. I'm glad.
On the subject of friends from school, I would just like to say that like almost all the friends that I had literally all the friends that I had in high school, and almost all of them from college, I have nothing to do with anymore. I don't
Interesting.
know. I just haven't held on to any of those, except for like two. There's two friends that I hung out with a lot in high school or in college that I still like I used to room with them for a while.
Oh yeah.
And
I had that weird experience of talking to like my oldest friend, like from primary school when we were little kids.
God, I can't.
And I
even
was friends
fucking
with him the whole way through primary school. And then on Facebook, I was like, I'm friends with him. I haven't said anything to him for like a decade. And then I just said something to him, and he was like, "Oh, hi." And it was good that I did it, but we never talked after that, and I guess it's just not gonna happen anymore.
Dude, there was this girl that I was like sort of involved, like in a very kiddie way. We were sort of like dating, I guess, when we were in we were like 10 or something, and Amelia. And so I messaged her on Facebook, I think. This was like 2 years ago or something. But at that time, like, she had moved to Arizona like 10 years before that. So we hadn't talked at all. And I was just like, hey, what's up? And we had the most... Actually, it was kind of a lovely conversation, but it was like... God, I don't know. If you guys have read that manga, Oyasumi Poon Poon, there's, like, when Poon Poon was a kid, and there was that girl, Aiko, who he was, like, madly in love with and was, like, his whole world. Like, they were, like... so tight, but then years and years later he sees Aiko again, and she's just like some normie girl, but like she had just fallen away from what he thought. And actually, as they talk and get to know each other, they kind of break through that, and they kind of rekindle like what they had known of each other before. But if you just stop that experience when he first met her and thought she was a disgusting normie, that's where I got to. That's the point that I reached.
So you're saying she became a normie or whatever.
And then she went on a flight around the world and was never heard from again.
That's right.
I feel like
Amelia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like the saddest, but the way that's easiest to make you depressed about school is looking at people's Facebook feeds. It's
Luckily, I never go on Facebook,
always,
so it's perfect.
Yeah, neither do I. But it's like I friended them all at the time, and I'm like, I can't be bothered to delete them. Yeah. But then I see that some of them are married, pregnant, graduating.
Dude, my friends are starting to get married now. It's really weird.
Ew.
It's really strange.
Yeah,
like one of my buddy Michelle has always intended to get married and did, and that's perfectly expected. Nothing weird there. But now my friend Doug, who has been my friend for a long time, is getting married next
Doug.
year, and
Doug's
he's one of my
cool
brothers.
Guy. I can't believe Doug's getting married.
Doug's getting married like next, I don't know, September or something. Yeah.
Well, holy shit.
It's fucking weird. But I mean, I like his fiance. She's a great person, so it's nothing against her. It's just.
Are you going to the wedding?
Him. I'll be there.
Are you going to object like Shrek?
Yeah.
Stop that donkey!
Wait, what is?
Or whoever.
Oh God, I'm so ashamed that I forget the actor's name. But in The Graduate, what does he yell?
Mike Myers. He plays Shrek.
No, at the end of The Graduate.
Oh, Eddie Murphy, who plays Donkey.
When he rushes into the wedding?
Doesn't he like bang on the glass and he's yelling something?
Oh, I don't know his name.
Stella.
No,
Stella!
God,
no.
And then they parodied it in The Simpsons when Grandpa Simpson wants to marry Marge's mom. He's Mrs. Bouvier, and he's like banging on the glass in the church.
It doesn't matter. Dustin Hoffman was yelling the lady's name.
Dustin Hoffman.
I can't
That's
remember.
it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay. That's weird. Yeah.
Are you
Anyway, The
sure it
Graduate's a
wasn't
10 out of 10
Mike
movie.
Myers?
Mike.
It was probably Mike Myers. I'm probably
I
remembering
thought
wrong.
it was.
Michael Myers, the killer.
Yeah, and he's just like through the fucking mask.
Yeah. Classic.
Hey, okay, so let me tell. I wanted to talk about my experience of going through college, just kind of in general, because things, as everybody knows, things did not end with that fourth year of college. That was a very good time for me. Things continued on for years until this very week. And they'll be over on Monday.
So you were in there
probably.
for like 7.5 years or something?
The grand total was 8.5 years.
8.5 years.
How old are you, Nate? 26?
I am 20. Oh God, 26. Yeah, I'm 26. That's right.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
But okay, it was not like I went there the entire full time for 8 years. Okay, so I spent 4 years in the school doing undergraduate stuff, and I changed my major a couple times up until sophomore year. I started out, I wanted to be a doctor when I was a kid, and because I'd watched a lot of Blackjack, cool anime about a doctor man, and wanted to do that. But then, in freshman year of college, I realized that was too much work. Ironically, I said, I don't want to be in school for 8 years. That's ridiculous.
That's ridiculous.
I thought there's no way I'd want to waste my life that way.
Jesus.
But
Jesus.
Yeah, I know. But anyway, it's not quite that bad as I'll explain.
That was a bad Dick Masterson impression.
Yeah.
I understood it.
Thank you.
So okay,
Maybe
4 years
I'm not
later.
as smart as I think I am.
So 4 years later, after that, I had done all this shit.
You jackass!
Is that one?
I got to the end.
That's
right?
from the guy's mom, Angelo's mom.
What? Who are you, gay?
All right,
Nate,
settle down,
sorry.
people. Come on.
I'm sorry to talk over you. It just
I love you, Maddox.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. So, okay, 4 years later, and I reached a point where all my friends were graduating because they had done things right, and I had failed like maybe just like 2 classes, but really the bigger issue was that I still had like 8 left, which was like 2 semesters worth, and so I thought to myself, okay, how do I do this? This was followed by several years of me thinking like, oh, I've only got a couple left and I'll be done. So I'll just take like one this semester and one next semester. And of course I took like one per semester over the next 8.5 years it's been. And some of them didn't even get counted because I fucked up the paperwork in various ways.
Oh.
I remember a
4
time when
years
it seemed like you were
Yeah.
on the cusp of graduating.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay, here's the thing about me. When I'm not interested in something, and I'm sure a lot of people are like this, when I'm not interested in something, I will put like the minimum amount of brain effort into like figuring it out and like making sure that everything's on track. So I continually fucked myself up repeatedly, thinking like, okay, I've only got this, I've only got that. I'm done. That's enough thinking about that, and it'll be fine. It was not in fact fine, and I ruined everything for myself for many years. But So my actual life during this time was just working like part-time jobs as close to full-time as possible, like shitty ones, like stocking shelves, and I worked at a Pier 1, just like building things and working behind the counter, doing retail and stuff. It was terrible. But I believe a year after I had been out of school and was doing that shitty stuff while taking like one class at a time at various schools in Massachusetts, that's when Ben suggested that we do a fucking My Little Pony video, and I thought, this is crazy. No one's gonna want to see it.
It's all downhill from there.
Yeah. And it was just because I was in this shitty position, because I hadn't finished my degree on time, and was just wasting my life doing this bullshit. Me and Ben were in the same place, and we're able to do this video thing together because Ben happened to be home, and I was there, and we did that. And just ever since then, I've been, finishing my degree, just taking one class at a time, and it's been like 3 years now since then. And finally, at long last, have reached all the things that were necessary to finish it.
That time when we started making videos. Wait, you were still working on that. You had that first internship, right? Or was it after that?
I think it was during. I don't know. I think it was after that.
And then that was. Oh, I forgot. The other fucking physics job I had was when I was a physics teacher in Poland. I completely forgot about that whole year of my life.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, and then I had just come back. I had come back from that and was living with parents because I had no fucking idea what to do with myself.
Right. Right.
And yes, and then we made a pony video.
And just ever since that point, I have been saddled with a whole bunch of shit I had to do personally. Just having to work because I had to pay rent, and I had to go to school at the same time, and also wanted to make YouTube videos. And man, that was a glorious time when we would bust those videos out in 1 week, and they were due as soon as possible. Mm-hmm. And we became the guys who got them out first every week. I remember that. I remember that very fondly.
It was a glorious time.
Sorry for asking, because I'm not as enriched on my Ben and Nate history as everybody else. But so when you guys made your first video, did you already have an audience, or did you guys you grew it from scratch?
Yeah,
it was totally from scratch. Yeah,
it was just because you put out videos so consistently and on time that people came, and then you grew the audience.
It was
the pony thing was big, so there was an audience
anything
waiting.
that was about ponies was guaranteed a few thousand subscribers.
A certain level of viewership. Yeah, that's true. And
I don't want to go too deep into people's past or whatever, because I know you guys are whatever the fuck. But I know Hippo.
That's right.
Hippo, I know that your Give and Take channel has a lot more subs than the Hippo. So Nate and Ben, did you guys have a lot more subs on a different channel, or is this the most you've ever had?
We had like 15,000, about the same.
Actually, it was just about 17,000 by the end.
We had. I think we slightly passed Hippo's channel.
We were always ahead of Hippo once we got ahead.
Were you guys competing against each other, or were you guys?
Yeah, I mean,
there was a small period where I was very jealous of the fact that they were overtaking me.
Well,
but I was jealous because I respected them and I didn't want to feel jealousy, but I did.
Yeah. Yeah.
Was
and I
Digi already
would
on the
certainly-
scene at this point, or were you guys?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Oh yes,
pioneers?
Jesse, he was around before us.
He started that whole scene.
He gave us all the idea. It's his fault.
Oh, okay. You guys all ripped off Digi.
Well, we weren't
pretty much.
We ripped off the idea of ripping off Digi. It was already well-worn ground when we
That's
got
true.
in there.
That is true.
Okay.
But we
I'm learning more and more every day.
But we distinguished ourselves amid the thronging mass, the teeming
It's true.
throng.
It's true.
Yes. Anyway,
Anyway, that was a whole history thing I didn't really want to spend that much time on, but
Sorry, I didn't want to
thought
bring
it'd
it
be fun
up.
to-
but I was
no,
curious.
that's cool.
I think
That's
he
cool.
was talking
brony
about
curious.
his personal history.
Yeah,
Maybe not.
and I kind of I just wanted to kind of explain all that so that I could say, when you look at it, the things that I'm doing now that I want to do, it's true. I do have a good job that is based on my education, and I'm thankful for that. But really, I'm also just kind of not liking that because, I mean, if you look at my situation now, I have this job, it's fine. But the thing that I really care about doing, and that I'm by far the best at in life, is making these videos and
Nate,
things.
Do you
And-
think? But okay,
What?
do you think you would be doing what you're doing now if you had not gone to college?
Well, I mean, you have to think about it in the full context, because we've been making videos for like 3 years, but
Yeah.
I mean, I spent 8 of those years, it's been a total of 8 doing the school stuff. I mean, if I just hadn't done school, I first of all wouldn't be in massive amounts of debt that'll take me a long time to pay off.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have had to, kind of waste my time doing this. I do consider it a waste of time for the most part. And
But
like
that's not my question.
I probably
question
wouldn't be
is-
doing videos, but who knows what I'd be doing? It could have been anything.
Yeah.
And the work I'm doing now is totally like I just learned it all myself. It has nothing to do with any education stuff. It was totally
Yeah.
a separate thing. So I don't want to say like school is always bad, because it's definitely not. There are definitely good things you can do and use it for. But for me, it was a pretty huge waste of
I
time,
don't know. I heard
especially
this
for what I
School
want
Sucks
to do.
podcast, and I was pretty sure the message was don't go to school.
I
Well,
was the
it was
only,
re- it
I
was
was
really
the only
don't go to
one playing
school.
defense for school at all. Oh,
A lot of those guys, unlike us educated folks, didn't even finish school.
yeah. So who the fuck gave them?
But
the right
what I wanted to
Such
express was the feeling
plebeians.
that you need a plan. If you're going to go to school, for God, like
right.
the thing I really
All
object
right.
to is the idea of defaulting to going to school and just figuring it out at the time.
Yeah,
Because
that's
I really
retarded.
feel like that did me wrong.
Unless
like
you
it
can
was
go
not.
for free, in which
thing
case
is-
If
definitely
it's free,
do-
go for it. Sure,
definitely
sure.
do that.
I think
Yeah,
the
why
thing
not?
is that it's just everyone who has to make those decisions is too young to make them.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Parent, I think we're at a time right now where parents have had such great success. Like a lot of like our parents have had such success going to school. It's worked out fantastic for them, and they assume that things are exactly the same, or will work out the same way for their kids. And it really is not the case, because there are so many more degrees now. School is so much more expensive now than it ever was when our parents went to school, and the job market is much like because there's so many people with degrees, they have been the jobs that are available require more and more expertise in whatever fields and more degrees and shit. So it's just a different landscape, and I think it is a reckless thing to do to throw your kids in and say it'll be fine, don't worry about it, figure it out as you go. I think it's way smarter to have a plan and do what Mumkey did basically, and get your shit done as fast as possible. If you can do it early, all the better. And it'd be better if your degree was worth anything. That would be a plus.
On the
but,
subject of student loan debt, I
Yeah.
have a lot of it, and let me tell
Mm-hmm.
you what I've been doing.
Patreon.com/Benson.
yeah, that's right. That's right.
All right, yeah. Well, so I have a ton of student loan debt, but okay, when I was doing real jobs, I was paying back, some of it.
Yeah.
So I have repaid a certain portion of it. But since I've been doing internet stuff, since I've been being an artist, well, here's the beautiful. I make so little money, and I'm so fucking poor. I'm so far below the poverty line that it's not even funny.
Not
That's
at all.
kind of funny.
yeah. I don't. I'm low enough that I qualify for deferrals, so I haven't actually had to pay back any. I'm just putting it all off until I'm making more money, and then I'll start paying it back again. Am I accruing some interest debt? Yes, it's not a huge amount, but yeah, the amount I owe is going up slowly as this time goes by. But like, I can't do it right now. So
Yeah.
but I mean, thank God that I've. I don't know. Maybe in the future I'll regret deferring, but like I think it's the only option. But But
It's
I'm
the only
glad.
option that'll allow you to keep doing, what you want to do.
Yeah, I would if I had to pay back my student loans, I would probably have to get a real job to do it. So patreon.com/Ben
What?
Well, speaking of having a plan, go ahead.
To,
Hippo, sorry.
If you had to well, say you stayed at this sort of level of money where you were below the threshold or where you needed to pay back any money at all, would you keep that up forever? Or would you strive to get more money and then pay it off eventually?
Well, one of the things is Ben and I both owe our parents a big chunk because they paid for a bunch with the expectations that we would pay it back at some point.
Some of my debt is to our parents. Some of it is to the government. I mean, I want to. If I had money to pay back the loans, I would pay back the government first.
Yeah, me too, because parents won't charge interest. So
right. And I mean, not like the debt's not valid or anything, but like to a certain degree, their money is our money because eventually, we'll just inherit it.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
You're just waiting for your parents to die so you can pay off your college debt.
I mean, in the grand scheme of things, scheme of things, yeah, their money. Like we all have the same pool of money in a sense. I don't know. I guess that's kind of how I see it.
Can I ask everybody on the subject of having a plan?
Yeah.
And
this
might
wait,
go...
sorry to interrupt. But like what you said, that's what makes me feel better about the fact that parents sent me to college, right? Like I picked my college, but like they let me make the choice, and I could be upset, like I could be mad that they let me choose this expensive school, and put myself into all this debt. On the other hand, since their money is my money to a certain extent, I kind of feel like it's both of our problem. Like they fuck themselves over just as much as me.
For sure, definitely.
So that's why I try not to sweat it too much, I guess.
Well, I don't spite them for that, but I do think it's not an optimal
I could
choice.
spite them for that if I wanted, but I try not to.
Anyway, Mumkey, what were you saying?
Well, now that we're all graduated, I'm curious what your guys' plans are. Because I know Hippo and Nate, you both want to do YouTube videos as your career, right?
That's right. Up to
yeah.
As long as, if there's some way to do that, that's what I want to do. I want to tell my own stories through videos, and YouTube appears to be the best way to do that. So, yeah.
Because right now, go ahead, Hippo.
Well, right now, it seems like a good idea because I know that I'm pretty good at it, and if I get the right, big breakout video, I could get quite a lot of money from being a big old gay guy on YouTube.
Do make a review of
but I do
gross things.
Like creating things like writing and animating, and so eventually I'll probably try to make, create stuff. If either instead of or if not in tandem with YouTube. So
create stuff. Yeah, I want to fund myself by converting energy into matter. I want to create stuff. That's where I see my career going.
I mean, I get a lot of money if I could make a machine that creates.
That's true.
Energy.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true. The reason why I'm asking is because I'm now in the position where I need to find a job.
Yeah.
But I have a useless degree, and I'm also, we're all three of us pretty much have the same sub count at this point. Like we're all about the same on YouTube. So I'm thinking am I going to be as crazy as these guys and pursue this as a career, or do I be more of a boring guy and get a real job and do this shit in my free time? I don't know.
I've been a bit of a bitch. I've been a bit of a bitch, and I have been working this whole time full time, and I sort of had to, but really, it was my choice ultimately to work a full time job while making videos, and that's something I did because I'm not the same exactly as Ben here or Digi, where they're willing to kind of just fucking say fuck it and just quit their job and just do it immediately. I don't have exactly as much I would say carelessness.
That's a good word.
I'm a little more conservative in my financial risk-taking abilities.
I felt like all the time I was spending doing a real job was
miserable, because I feel pretty miserable doing it.
It's not just that it was miserable. It's that I mean, some people might see it as more responsible in the long term, but I'm not
That's the
convinced
positive way.
I'm not convinced that's the case, because you can be laid off for no reason from your job that you've sunk countless years into. And
Sure.
I feel like the possibility exists that you could end up, really regretting your decision to work a regular job. Just as much.
When you get laid off, they don't take back the money you made, Ben. You still make money. It's responsible.
That's true.
That's true, but you still end up at square one. I mean, I guess
you
got
end
a
up with
bunch
money.
of work
Well, you have job experience and stuff. Yeah.
I guess.
Well, okay, because I actually do feel pretty strongly about that subject, and all the time I find myself looking at guys like Digi, and this is the negative side. Yeah, this is the negative side of the kind of cautiousness I have with my financial situation, and it's like I think about the last year and a half that I've spent at this current job, and in the last 2 years, Digi has blown up in a big way, and it's because he has devoted his life wholeheartedly to making
drinking.
this content, and my channel has existed.
Online.
My current channel has existed for about a year, and has gotten way less content. But again, that's the kind of style of video I do. So obviously, I know it's not complete apples to apples. But like all the time that you devote towards doing stuff on YouTube grows your viewership base, and that leads to more likelihood of financial success. And so it can be a snowball effect where the better you do, the more content you make, the more money you can make, like the more economically viable it is. So to actually divert yourself to work a full-time job and try to do that at the same time is probably the least efficient way to do it, as opposed to maybe saving up some money and then just going for it. And just going as hard as you can to try to grow to get that base that will support you,
But what's the plan
especially
if
it's what you
fails?
want to do, it makes sense to go as hard as you can, because even if you fail, you got to spend that time doing what you love. So, there's no downside.
But then you're living in poverty. That's a pretty big downside.
Well,
and you have no
it
job
depends on how you do it.
Hey man, take it from me. Living in poverty can be a pretty great time if you know how to approach it. You know what I'm saying?
It depends what your needs are. Poverty. It's easy to wave it off and say like, "Oh, it's poverty," but
why does poverty have to be a dirty word?
Well, okay.
Why can't we all just accept it and stop being so fucking classist? You know what I'm
It
saying?
I just
depends
want to
on
be
your
able to pay
situation.
for my rent and for my internet and for my gas.
Okay, but see, if you do the calculations for that, which I have, those numbers aren't necessarily that high. Like, I could get away, and this is actually something I did on my Patreon recently, where I tried to calculate how much I would need based on my output of content, like what the Patreon number I would need to be for me to be pretty sure that I'd be okay. And I found that $750 per video, because I do it per video,
Jesus
and
fucking
I'd
Christ.
post like twice a month. Well, I know it's high, but that's what it would take for it to like be a livable wage, and I could do the things I do.
Why is it that high? I'll just say, for me, $600 a month. $600 a month, and I would be in the black.
Yeah, but do you guys even pay rent at Digi's house? Isn't it a free
Of course I pay
living
rent
place?
at Digi's house.
I thought he just got the fucking house for free.
No,
He did not get the
there's
house
rent.
for free,
I mean,
that's
my
it.
rent is not particularly high, but I do have to pay rent. It's about what I was paying at my last place.
I mean, let's just say that rent is like $500, and you'll need, I don't know, like $300 left for, various expenses throughout a month, and then on top of that, there's being able to invest in things that you need and pay off student loans, because, that's a lot for me. So,
Yeah.
I mean, we're looking at, $1,500 is not a lot of money.
I guess that's true. If I ever want to start paying back my student loans, which I do,
A big priority for me is
600
paying
would
off
not-
my student loans
600
as soon as
a month would
possible.
Not quite
So.
cover it, but
I mean, my student loans, they want me to pay like $350 a month. So that's, I know I could negotiate that down.
just make less money. Just make less money, and then you have to pay less, and there you go.
Well, that's one way to go.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, that's the thing. The 750 was the target, and even if I don't reach that, then that's I could probably still live with some amount less than that. But that's the goal for like a comfortable way to be.
Hippo,
and once
I've
I
always
get
been
there,
curious about your plan on living and surviving off of YouTube.
Well, right now I have a pretty good deal because my rent at my parents' house is very low compared to anywhere else I could possibly be, and also they cook food for me, so
yeah.
I really don't have to worry about as many expenses as other people. So doing the YouTube is very easy a decision for me to make. Like I don't have any work at the moment, and I could spend time doing looking for animation work, but it's more fun at the moment to just be doing YouTube with the hopes that it gets bigger, and if it does, then it'll just work out. I don't really have a bad situation going on, unless my parents start asking for a lot more rent.
Let me briefly return to what I was saying before about, like, if you get laid off from a job and, like, what you've got is you've got work experience left, and, like, yeah, when you work a regular job, you get work experience, which helps you get another similar job. And I guess the thought process for me was, I don't want work experience in a field that is not something I want to do. You know, like, I knew I didn't want to be a lab technician or a physics teacher or whatever. So, like, getting that work experience is only going to help me continue to be a lab technician or a physics teacher. And
that's how I feel about my programming, which I don't care about.
Yeah, so I feel like bailing as soon as possible was the smartest decision.
It's not a bad idea.
Ultimately, striving to do the stuff that you want to do will be just better for yourself. You may have, like, financial trouble.
Yeah.
And eventually,
I got some of that, boy.
If it gets so bad, you might have to take a normal job. But I think if your goal is to do stuff that you want to do,
and I know that it's going to sound shitty.
I know I could be making more if I spent that time, you know, climbing the corporate ladder or whatever. But I don't. My end goal. My end goal is not to end up at the top of the corporate ladder. So, there we go.
Obviously not. I mean,
that's all.
One
That's all
day,
I'm saying.
I understand. I hear you, and that's fair. But it's, you know, this is gonna sound, I don't know, maybe hypocritical or something. But, like, despite me, you know, choosing the safer road and to, like, do a job that will kind of allow me to live okay while, you know, trying to do my other shit sort of in my spare time, I also feel kind of resentment for people who do it full time because they have so much free time, and I sort of feel like my way is sort of like the way that I've been trained is the right way to do things. So, you know, it's shitty, but I'm kind of pissed off at people who have the kind of personality that would allow them to just be like, yeah, fuck it, I'll just go do what I want. And whereas I'm over here like, guys, that's irresponsible. What are you doing? That's not the smartest way. What if you fuck up? You know, it's
I'm not sure that I would be doing YouTube if I wasn't so financially stable. Like, if I was on the edge, I'm not sure I would just say, fuck it, I'll do whatever I want.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Although Digi was never that on the edge, was he?
Well, at the beginning, Digi was very, you know, up in the air.
He just didn't have much of his own money.
Yeah.
Right.
And he lived with his parents, so he had kind of, you know, he wasn't going to get thrown out if he didn't make any money. So he had some stability when he was able to start, which was definitely a good thing for him. And I'm just bringing up Digi because, like, he's the guy who's made it. You know, he's doing great, doing what he's doing. So
we're not talking about school anymore. We've moved on.
We have gone off the rails, but school is related to a lot of other things in life. So I still think we're kind of
I do like
sort
the
of
fact
related.
That the podcast about being graduated smart boys is all, you know, very civil conversation with smart topics.
I agree.
We're all very intelligent, and that's the lesson.
I mean, if some of those other
those other guys are fucking dumb.
If those other guys were here, I really think the conversation would be dragged down a lot. So I'm glad that only the brightest of boys can be.
Now I'm so self-conscious about all the shitty jokes I'm
civilly
making.
discussing just how civil our conversation has managed to be. Riveting.
That's right. Well, I mean, if you guys don't have anything particularly relevant to say on the topic, we could get to the final portion of our podcast.
Wait, how long have we been going? An hour?
About an hour, just about an hour.
Yeah, let's go into questions.
Okay, so we're people, as you know, on at TP Crastinators on Twitter. At the start of our recording, we put out a little message that's like, hey, tweet us here if you want us to answer questions, and we will grab a couple of them and see what the fuck is going on with them.
Have we been getting tweets?
That's right. So when I just checked now, after tweeting, we had like 48 notifications here. So that's a good amount of shit here. Yeah. So let's see what we got.
Maybe I'll go check those out too.
Do they know who's on the episode?
No, they have no way of knowing.
Oh, okay.
So it's a surprise. It's like those
They're
Wonder
gonna be
Balls
so disappointed.
with the surprise in every chocolate-coated thing, you know?
Can I say one quick thing about this episode in particular, though? This is the third time I've been on, guys, and I thank you so much for inviting me back again. I hope to come back many more times.
Mm-hmm.
But like every time I come on, there's always like 6 or 7 guys, and it's a clusterfuck.
Yeah.
So it's been really nice this time to have 4 people, 2 of which are my favorite PCP, and 1 of which is my least favorite. So it's been a great mix,
Oh no.
and I've enjoyed it.
I think I know.
That's all I have to say.
Oh, I think I know.
Yes.
It's Ben.
It's Ben, of course. Okay, so all right,
You're
here's
going
a
to
couple
like
questions.
me a lot less after our next battle, Mumkey.
Oh shit! I forgot that there's sworn enemies trying to kill each other's best friends. I forgot.
Yeah,
about
we've
that.
tried to keep it civil this whole time,
That's good.
but I fucking hate
The
this
rage barely contained,
Okay, here we go.
bubbling just under the surface.
guy. Yep. And I'm
What
about
do
to break everything you...
Okay, here we go. Here's some
One
questions.
step
people.
closer
Okay.
to the edge, and I'm about to break.
All right, shut the fuck up.
do what you tell me.
Here's one that's going to be relevant to your interest, Ben. By @SteelViper77.
Hey, Steel Viper. Sure,
yeah,
I know
okay.
that guy.
Oh, I know that guy too.
Is it the audience's fault if they do not understand a piece of art?
Oh,
I don't know if that one's been addressed. I don't know if that's
okay.
been.
Clearly,
That's
he
a good
saw.
question.
He saw me
Yeah.
and Tom arguing about it. Yes, it's the no, it's the artist's fault, and it's not. And the artist is not obligated to make his work accessible. But if the work is not accessible to someone, it's only there's no one else to blame. There's no one else to blame but the artist. What is it? The audience's fault? Some
What
people
if the
think
audience is too
I don't know.
stupid to understand it?
then you should have. Then if you wanted stupid people to understand your work of art, you should have made a stupider work of art. You know, it's your
Wait,
fault.
so then it's just the fault of the stupid people, according to that logic?
No,
The ar-
you
no,
have to make
The
your
argument
art
was
in a way.
flawed from the beginning because it's implying that the artist like failing with their art to reach a certain person is like their goal, and they failed at their goal, which means they're bad.
Yeah.
That's not necessarily the
I
case.
know,
it just
it's-
means that
yeah.
if somebody doesn't like something, it's not their fault. They didn't do something wrong. And
Yeah, maybe
they're
that's
not-
a better way.
they're
Maybe
not-
that's a better way to
Well,
phrase
you know,
it.
there are ways to do things wrong actively and sort of like passively. Like if you don't understand English and someone asks you a question in English, it's not like you did anything wrong by not
That was
getting
my
it. But
example. It was
Oh,
like
okay.
It's if the artist writes their work in English, then
Yeah.
people that don't speak it's not people that don't speak English's fault if they don't get anything out of the work. It's because the artist made that choice to write it in a way that would include some people and exclude others. And like
Yeah,
everything
and it's
about
not, and it's
making
not
a work
bad
is like
thing. It's just
Yeah.
the way it is.
Yeah,
But
it's
you define that as a
unavoidable.
failure?
Well, no, not
I
in the
write
sense
something
that
in
not,
English,
That
it's
seems
a
where the
failure
argument
on
yeah,
is.
this
a
is where it comes in
Spanish
because
level?
people have interpreted that word failure in different ways. It's not a failure in that the artist has not failed in doing what they set out to do, but in terms of conveying something of value to the audience or to a particular audience member, yeah, I would say that the artist has failed in that because of the choices they made, which is fine. Like
By writing
a
something
certain
in
amount-
English, they failed?
Yeah, they failed to convey anything of value to non-English speaking people, and like a certain
Yeah.
I
amount of
mean, that's
failure,
true.
a certain amount
It's-
of
it's
failure.
really just
But let me
that-
fucking finish this point. A certain
Yeah, okay.
amount of failure is always unavoidable. So it's not like I'm
Right,
saying
right.
that an artist sucks or is a failure as an artist for doing that.
Wait, but hang on,
it's
Ben.
sim-
One
it's
quick,
such-
one quick.
It's such simple shit to me. I
One
can't
quick
believe
response, though,
everyone
Ben.
doesn't agree
bizarre
with
If
me.
I
way to
intended,
phrase
if
it.
I only intend for English-speaking audiences to get it, and it is not my intent for French-speaking, haven't I not failed in my goal?
No,
Whatever,
you succeeded
shut up.
completely.
That's exactly the point that I just made. Is that's not how I'm defining failure here.
Do we have
well,
better
okay.
questions, Nate?
Yeah.
I didn't. I thought that was going to be a joke, and he wasn't going to respond seriously, but I fucked up. Okay, here's
Because
a
I
couple.
poked the bear.
I'm just going to do a couple here. These are small ones. Okay, by at oh god, what is this? Okay, at GTR Santiago. Yeah, okay, there we go. What's your alcohol of preference?
Gin and tonic.
Just like our grandpappy used to drink, right?
Did he?
Yeah, I know he was a big gin fan.
I didn't even remember that.
Well, I'm
I
pretty
like-
sure that's what he drank. Yeah, Gib.
Apple cider is nice.
That is nice. Mumkey,
I've been drinking a lot of vodka and lemonade.
are you drinking that now?
I did like 2 hours ago.
That actually sounds really good. I wonder
Yeah,
if I
it's
have
good.
any of that.
And I don't know. I don't really. I'm not picky, but I like Guinness, so I like Guinness. Okay, here's two short ones more. What's the most extreme measure? Oh, I forgot. This is by at 69. Oh wait, is that 89? At 89, Takezo. What's the most extreme measure any of you have had to take because of the stupidity of others?
Oh,
Oh,
God.
14 meters.
What does that mean?
The stupidity of others.
I actually, when I read this, I thought he meant the stupidity of the other procrastinators.
No.
I didn't realize it was so general.
No.
I didn't actually listen to the question. What
But
is it?
yours is the best answer. I don't even have an answer for that. That was
I don't
too
have an
good.
answer either.
Ben, are you still thinking?
This is Santiago asking. Yeah, I see that.
Yeah,
on Twitter
yeah.
all the time. I don't know. The stupidity of others. What's the most? That's such a broad
You
question.
see, I fucked. I was gonna say something like, well, there was this one time when Jesse got real upset about the color of his films,
Oh,
and we had
God.
to talk him down for a while. So
No.
but
I wasn't going
No.
to say anything, but his videos are like kind of yellow. Have you guys seen
oh
them?
no, oh no.
Oh, please.
Okay, let's move on.
please.
Here's the last real question.
Wait. I feel like I could
Okay.
think of an example, but God, what's something someone did to me that was really stupid?
It said a mean thing.
People
to,
just don't
comment.
understand that you can fail to convey meanings as an artist. It's a real big problem.
Yeah, I had to get in a fucking argument on Twitter because
Yeah.
Tom didn't agree with me that the artist's responsibility, whatever. Yeah, that was gay.
I'm still with Ben on that.
Thank you.
Okay, great. All
Another
right.
one.
Anyway, here's our real question. This is the last one by @Magos_Sigma. What's the real meaning of Christmas? Because it is Christmas coming up in a couple
And
days.
Oh, that's
behold,
easy.
there were three kings, Martin Luther, Don, and Rodney. Martin Luther was the smartest of the three. He preached equality, peace, and self-respect. He was the good king. Don was a hoopty who got hoopty from a hoopty while
Didn't he get rickets?
blasted
He got
diarrhea
rickets?
all over
No,
his
fuck.
crib. He was a bad king. I don't know the whole quote. I'm quoting Charlie Brown's Christmas
And that's the real meaning of Christmas, Charlie Brown.
wait,
yeah,
it's like the black, like, really racist version. What's it called?
yeah, it is.
Oh, Charlie
And
Brown Kwanzaa. Charlie Brown Kwanzaa.
Oh
Anyone
yeah,
that
that's
has-
right. It's the real
Charlie
meaning of
Brown
Kwanzaa. I
was
forgot.
already
Yeah, the true meaning of
racist.
Kwanzaa.
'Cause
Fuck, I was
brown.
gonna say something. Oh right. But forget Christ's birthday. Actually, do you guys want to answer that? Any other meaning Christmas? Are we done with
But
that?
is that all you have to say? Just forget Christ's birthday, and that's
Well,
the
no,
meaning
no.
of
I was
Christmas?
gonna go on to another point, but that relates to that. Okay, we're done with that question. Whatever.
Oh, yep.
Okay, right. There is a more important birthday 3 days before Christmas, and it is that on December 22nd is the 1-year anniversary birthday of the Procrastinators channel, of the release of our first video.
Our first podcast.
It's also my mom's birthday.
Is it?
Really?
It really is.
Wow.
Whoa, is she the Procrastinators podcast?
She might be. I'll ask her. Here, I'll call her on
Yeah,
speakerphone
yeah,
right
you
now.
It really
Mum-
is.
find out.
the Procrastinators
Mumkey
podcast.
is a virgin birth created by
Yeah.
the Holy Spirit of the Procrastinators podcast.
Yeah,
That
find
makes
out.
sense.
Get back to us on that.
Like half of my subs are because of this shit.
Oh,
Nice.
really? That's great.
They mostly came from Digi, but
They're from
I'll
Digi,
give
right.
you guys all credit.
All right, that's good.
Ham
I'd also
boys.
shout out to my new microphone arm, which is wonderful, and I can move my microphone everywhere, and it stays in
Hey.
front of my face, which I'm doing
I
right
love
now.
it when you say shout out to inanimate objects.
That's what I do.
Like-
shout out to my microphone
Like
arm.
you haven't, like you put a microphone on the end of your arm, like Barrett Wallace.
No, you fool! I'm not Mega Man who just killed Microphone Man, and I got a microphone gun on my arm.
Yeah.
This is it's like a metal thing that you kind of screw it clamps to your desk, and then it can kind of swivel and extend
I
the
see.
microphone out,
I
and it's
see.
wonderful. I can't recommend it highly enough. I've been using a stand, and it was bullshit, and I hate it. This is 1,000 times better. It was like $100, but everyone should get one.
Well,
It's fucking
stupendous.
wonderful. It was great. Great. Okay. Anyway, I think that's enough of that shit. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Yeah.
We'll tune in next week when. Oh, next week's going to be a very special episode. Actually, we've been cooking up something for a little while, and it's going to be a big fucking thing.
Is it that thing?
Oh, it's that.
Oh,
we're going to
man.
show them that.
Thank
It's going to
God.
be it's going to be
Oh,
crazy
boy.
time.
I'm
What
really
are you
really
guys
excited for
talking
that.
about?
Oh, you'll find out next week. Everyone here is going to be on that. We're all involved, and it's a couple other people that in the Procrastinators will be there too, and it's going to be fucking dope. So stick around, and we'll
Wait,
see
can I
you
give
then.
a hint? Can I give a hint?
Oh, you can give a little hint, sure.
If you're a fan of if you're a fan of Gen 1, if you're a Gen 1er for life, you might.
Oh, boy.
you
Oh
might
shit,
enjoy
I
it.
You
am
blew
part of
it.
this, ain't I?
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
you are. Yes,
oh, I
you
forgot
are.
I was.
If you're
Okay,
a Gen
people.
1er
So
for
go
life, then you're
speculate.
gonna be hype.
Yeah, go be hype. Go
Okay,
be hype.
go to
'cause it's fucking awesome.
patreon.com/BenSaint. Go to YouTube/MumkeyJones. Go sub to my channel. Go to Hippo and give him a thumbs up. And don't go to Nate's channel. Okay, thanks,
Nah.
everybody. Woo,
Okay,
I
we'll
did
see
it.
you next time, everybody. Thanks for watching. Bye. Bye.
Yeah.
Hooray.
Yeah.
Everyone.
I'm supposed to be working right now. I'm supposed to be working right now. But I'm not working. I'm doing nothing. My dick I'm jerking. Myself I'm sucking. I am an asshole. I am a stupid. I've got a deadline. Don't wanna do it. What the hell is wrong with me? I'm supposed to be making money. I'm supposed to be creating funny things that the people gladly will pay for. Artistic genius, that's what they came for. Instead, I'm tweeting, hashtag repeating. That's why there's no heat and holes in the ceiling. Yeah, it's quite the burden. It's a hard knock life, being a genius.